Welcome back, and today we're talking about IWGP episode 10. So, like always, let's just jump into it. After watching episode 10 of IWGP, I feel like I just came to the realization as to why I'm not enjoying this anime that much. For one, we already know I had false expectations coming into this anime. I thought it was going to be more gang related, more violent and stuff like that. Kind of like Banana Fish almost. But that was not the case. And then on top of that, one thing I don't like in anime really is the how some episodes don't have anything to do with other episodes, right? For example, this episode, we see a girl kind of approach Makoto and she wants his help to hurt somebody. The premise starts off very interesting, very mysterious, but then when we go into the later parts of the episode, all these new characters that we met in this episode, I have no emotional attachment to. I don't care about them. I know we're not going to see them next episode. So really, there's no interest for me to meet these characters and their problems. Now, before we jump into this episode, let me remind you to like and subscribe. Definitely helps the channel out. But let's talk about IWGP episode 10. And as you probably could guess, I did not like this episode that much. It started off okay. I was kind of like thinking, is Makoto really going to go through with this? And of course, he didn't. And once we got the whole story, right, of Eiji, the one that hurt Hayama's brother, essentially, he hit him, robbed him, and broke his knee, to the point where he won't be able to stand for like long periods of time. So he can't work at a restaurant. He can't open his own restaurant because of his injury. So essentially this Eiji person, right, who was a juvenile, who was a young person, made a really huge mistake. And it cost Hayama's brother his well-being and his future, right? So that's obviously bad. But once we get the full story, how Eiji was getting bullied, I kind of saw that coming a mile away. It made sense. And he was getting bullied. That's why he hurt Hayama's brother and all that stuff. So that story right there, it wasn't anything groundbreaking. We didn't get any huge plot twists or anything like that. Honestly, whenever we got to see Tsukasa kind of just sharpening his knife, I thought this episode was going to take a turn for the worse. I thought Tsukasa was going to go out and actually hurt or kill Eiji, and I thought that was going to be a really violent scene, but that's not what happened. We see that Makoto comes up with a good solution, right? He talks to Eiji and tells him, look, if you come and talk to Tsukasa and Hayama and her family and stuff like that about the incident that happened a while back, we're gonna let you join the G-Boys. The G-Boys are going to protect you, so the people that bully you are not going to extort money from you anymore. And my mind immediately thought, well, the G-Boys are a gang, right? And they get into fights and stuff like that. So what is Eiji going to do with the G-Boys? He's just going to be protected by them. And again, this being like the thing with this anime since episode 1, to me, the G-Boys feel like a little Boy Scouts police group or something along those lines, right? Where they're not really like a legit gang at this point. They're like the neighborhood watch. Not what I was expecting when it came to the gang. But yeah, essentially the G-Boys are protecting Eiji unless they're going to teach him how to fight in case the gang needs him to fight and stuff like that. We know they did say, Takashi did say the Red Angels are expanding, so maybe he's worried about that. But what's Eiji going to do? He can't fight. He's getting bullied. He can't stand up for himself. What's he gonna do? He can't really do anything for the G-Boys. Really, the Eiji is getting a lot more out of the G-Boys than the G-Boys are going to get out of Eiji. But for all we know, Eiji might go into a complete training regiment and he'll become OP. We don't know. But that's what I'm saying when it comes to this anime, right? Like, I had no emotional attachment to Eiji because we just met him in this episode, right? I don't care if he was getting bullied. Like, we just met him in this episode. Now, of course, I hate bullying, so I was kind of feeling sorry for him. but I know we're not going to see AG ever again. We're not going to see him next episode probably, right? We got 2 episodes left, and I'm sure he's not going to make that big of an impact in the story. The characters that I care about is the leader of the Red Angels, which he hasn't gotten a lot of screen time, so I can't even remember his name. I care about Takashi, I care about Makoto, but really Makoto is never in trouble. He's always the one solving the problems. So again, I'm not worried about Makoto because he's never going to be in any sort of problem. Maybe in the next 2 episodes, something happens, something changes, and that'll change my mind a little bit. But I know why this anime is really not, I'm not really feeling this anime. It's because it's not really a story from start to finish, right? Each episode contains its own story and its own resolution. I think we got like 1 or 2 parter episodes. Definitely my favorite ones with the whole revolution within the gang, where they were gonna be fighting each other. I absolutely love those 2 episodes. But when it comes to just one single story within each episode, where Makoto comes in, he sees the problem, he solves the problem, I really don't like those episodes, and this was one of those episodes. Now we have 2 episodes left. Let's see how this one goes. I'm sure these last 2 episodes are probably going to be the biggest ones for this anime, so we might actually get a real serious story, especially since we got a hint that the Red Angels are expanding. Maybe we'll get to jump into that side of the story where we get to see the G-Boys and the Red Angels kind of clash for the first time. Overall, I was disappointed by this episode because, again, I wasn't attached to the characters. But let me know what you thought of this episode in the comments below. And like always, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode.